Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys couldn't tell from the title of today's video, we are doing something a little bit different today. I will be taking each song from Harry Styles' new album, Fine Line, which just came out last Friday, and I will be pairing each of those songs with a book. I do want to give a quick shout out to Gabby from Gabby Reads because she is the one that really created this type of video. At least I believe she's the one that created this video because back this summer she did a video where she took a book for every single song from Taylor Swift's album Lover, and then very recently she also did another video where she compared a book to each of Taylor Swift's songs from her album Red. So I got inspired from her video and thought, why not do Harry Styles, because one, I'm a huge fan of Harry Styles, and two, he just came out with his new album and I thought, what perfect timing than doing it right now. So that's what we're doing today, and I'm really excited and I just think we should jump into the video now. So I do quickly want to mention that for this video I did want the physical copy of his album in my hands. But unfortunately the 4 CDs that I have coming my way are not here yet, and I didn't really want to wait. And I know 4 CDs sounds very excessive for like one album, but Harry did a promotion or like a sale this time where when you bought tickets for his upcoming tour this next year, you got a CD for every single ticket that you bought. So I bought 4 tickets. I got 4 CDs. They're just not here yet. And then I also ordered his vinyl copy of the album, but that is not going to get here until Wednesday, and again, I didn't really want to wait. So long story short, I basically don't have any of the physical copies of Fine Line in my hands right now, but I do have Harry Styles' debut album in my hands for the physical copies. So we can look at this beautiful thing if you guys want. Also, I decided to be inspired by Harry's album in regards to my makeup, and I decided to do the cotton candy colors on my eyelids, if you guys couldn't tell, and do the pink and the blue, and I really like it. I like how it turned out. I think it's really unique, and I'm really excited for this video, you guys. Like, I don't know if you guys could tell, but I'm very excited about this video because I'm such a huge fan of Harry. So let's just like get into the songs. I don't know why I'm wasting so much time. So the very first song on the album is Golden.
You're so golden.
I really like this song a lot. I think it was the perfect song to start the album with. And I know he's mentioned that when he started making the album, he knew right away that Golden was going to be the first track on the album, and I think it was a perfect decision because it really encompasses what the album's going to bring in my mind. So with that, I decided to choose Ignite Me for the album Golden. I think that this book fits really well, especially for the fact that Warner, has golden hair, so I think it correlates a little bit there. But I also think that it's a great representation of Warner and Juliet's relationship. Okay, so the next song is Watermelon Sugar, which out of all the singles that Harry released, so he released Lights Up, Watermelon Sugar, and then Adore You, I feel like Watermelon Sugar was the best single that he came out with personally, and I really enjoyed that one a lot. So for Watermelon Sugar, I chose The Girls by Emma Cline. I feel like this book is just perfect for this song.
I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar high.
So I felt like The Girls by Emma Cline was going to be a perfect fit for this just because one, it's set in the summer, and I know that Watermelon Sugar is a very summerish song, and so this book is set in the summer. It deals with a girl who joins a very Charles Manson-ish cult. It's very representative of Charles Manson and the cult that he had in the 60s. So I thought that this would be really perfect, but mostly because there is an obsession with the main girl over one of the girls that's in the cult with her. So I felt like, Frank, get down. No. So I felt like this song, Watermelon Sugar, and the fact that he constantly says Watermelon Sugar High, really shows that there's an obsession within that song, and there's an obsession within this book. So I just felt like it was really perfect, and it had kind of those 60-ish vibes to it a little bit, especially with Harry's falsetto in there. I got a lot of 60s vibes, a lot of 70s vibes, and that's kind of the time period in which this is taking place. So that is the book that we chose. So the next song on the album is Adore You, which is the very last single that Harry released in honor of his upcoming album.
Walk through fire for you, just let me adore you.
So for Adore You, I chose Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. Ooh, we rhymed there. So I chose this one for like obvious reasons, I feel like. The main lyrics of the chorus are, I'd walk through fire for you, just let me adore you. And I mean, Aelin, like, yeah, I'm sorry if you guys haven't read this book. Yeah, it's pretty obvious to me, the fact that like Aelin has fire powers and all these men in her life will totally walk through fire for her, especially Rowan, and we already saw that. So yeah, I feel like this was really perfect. I also feel like it represents not only Aelin and Rowan's relationship, but it also represents Aelin and Fenris's relationship, and I love me Fenris. God, I love Fenris so much. And it really shows, especially in this book. If you guys have read it, you guys know that Fenris does show that he can walk through that fire. Like, he knows he can be there for Aelin. So I feel like this is the perfect book for that song. So the next song in the album is Lights Up, which was Harry's very first single that he released on this album back in September, and there was a lot of hype around this one, and a lot of the key points behind this song was the one lyric that Harry has that's really specifically stated at the end of the song, which is, "Do you know who you are?" So I don't feel like this book needs much explanation for why I chose it for Lights Up. If you guys have read this book, then you guys know that the main character, Alina, is a sun summoner. Yeah, sun summoner, and so she has the power to bring light, and so Lights Up was very appropriate for this one. But I especially like the line where it says, where Harry goes, "All the light couldn't put out the dark running through my heart." I just feel like that was so perfect, and I felt like it really represented Alina and the Darkling's relationship, how she's just constantly pulled to the Darkling even though she is the Sun Summoner, and I just feel like they really balanced each other out. OTP. And then there's also a line in there that says, Harry goes something like, "I wish things could stay the same," and I felt like that was really representative of Alina and Mal's. Is it Mal or Mal? I'm gonna go with Mal. With Mal's relationship, because he, all the time throughout the books, really wants to keep things the way they are, but he needs to realize that Alina is changing in a lot of ways. So I felt like that book was perfect for that song, and that song represented this book. So there we go.
All the lights couldn't put out the dark, running through my heart.
So the next song on the album is Cherry, and it is definitely one of my favorites. I think it's probably my second favorite on the album. And it was the one, when I was listening to the album when it launched at midnight, it was the one that really started getting me crying in the album, because it's just so sad, you guys. It's such a sad song, but it's so sweet at the same time.
Don't you call him what you used to call me.
So for this song, I chose Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell. I feel like I chose this one for a very obvious reason, and the main reason was because the song is called Cherry, and a very big part of this book is the talk of Eleanor's hair, which is very bright red. It's repeated like constantly. They are always describing her hair and what it looks like and how bright it is, and I feel like it's a really focal point of the whole story. But not only that, I feel like it's a very sweet song, and I think it really goes with Eleanor and Park's relationship within this book. The one line that I really enjoy from the song that I feel like really correlates to this book is when Harry says, "There's a piece of you in how I dress," and Park did that. He put eyeliner in his eyes, and he went one time to prove that, you know, he could do it, and then he just continued on putting eyeliner and going to school with that, and it became a part of how he dressed. So I feel like that was really fitting for this book.
There's a piece of you in how I dress.
So the next song on the album is Folly, which is again another favorite of mine, and I feel like Harry's voice in this one is beautiful. It is perfect in every single way.
What am I now? What if I'm someone I don't want around?
So out of all of these books that I'm choosing for these songs, I actually find that the book that I chose for Falling is the one that I feel like the most confident about. I feel like this is the one that I know is exactly for this song, and that is Daisy Jones in the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is such a perfect book for this song. If you guys have read this book, you guys know. Like, I wish that this album would have been out when I was reading this book, because I definitely would have been listening to it while reading this, which I still can. Like, I might go back and reread it with the song playing on repeat. And I feel like the lines where Harry says, I have no one to blame but the drink and my wandering hands, I feel like that really shows the relationship between Billy and Camilla as well. And then even more specifically, I really, really love the line of where Harry says, I'm well aware I write too many songs about you. And if you guys have read this and you guys know that that is just like so perfect for this book.
And I'm well aware I write too many songs about you.
So the next song on the album is To Be So Lonely. I said that way too chipper. Like, this song is not a chipper song.
Don't call me baby. It's hard for me to go home. Be so lonely.
So for To Be So Lonely, I chose such a good series, and that is, I chose the Cruel Prince series, the Folk of the Air series, whatever you want to call it, but specifically I chose The Wicked King by Holly Black. The reason I chose this series was mostly because I was focusing in on Cardan and Jude's relationship. Also, I really enjoy the line where Harry says, I'm just an arrogant son of a bitch who can't admit when he's sorry. And like, if that ain't Cardan, and if that ain't Jude, I don't know what, because that is like their line right. But I also feel like a lot of the correlation between the song and the books comes from Queen of Nothing as well. So I'm choosing both of these books as the books that are going to be paired with To Be So Lonely.
Arrogant son of a bitch who can't admit when he's sorry.
Alright, so the next song is my favorite song on the album. I love it so much. I might be in the running for my favorite Harry Styles song of all time, though Kiwi is still there, so I don't know yet, but I feel like She by Harry Styles is definitely my favorite song.
She lives in daydreams with me.
So, because this song is my favorite song, none of you should be surprised that I chose my favorite series, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas for this one. I guess specifically it's going to be this one, and I'm also going to be pairing it with A Court of Mist and Fury as well, because the events that I feel like correlate with She also take place in A Court of Mist and Fury. So if you guys haven't read this series yet, I'm going to be dropping kind of a big spoiler, so I'm going to put a time cue on the screen so you guys can jump to that and you guys will not be spoiled. But for those of you who have read it, then you guys know that I chose this because the song She is talking about a girl that Harry doesn't know who she is at all. He just daydreams about her. And I feel like that is Reese when he is seeing visions of Feyre and like having these dreams about her, and he has no idea who she is. He just wants to know who she is, and then he figures it out.
I don't know who she is.
Alright, so the next song on the album is Sunflower Volume 6.
Kiss in the kitchen like it's a dance floor.
So I feel like I'm cheating a little bit with this one, but this one like works the best. So I chose The Sun and Her Flowers. I know, I feel like it's cheating because it's so appropriate for this song, and I feel like I should have chose like a YA book or like not a poetry book basically, but I chose a poetry book and that's what we're sticking with. Alright, so the next song is another one that I struggled a little bit trying to find a book that was going to work with it, but that song is Canyon Moon.
You gotta see it to believe it. Sky never looks so blue.
So the book that I chose for this one was Road Tripped by Pete Hotman. I think it's Hotman. I have no idea how to pronounce this name. So anyways, Road Tripped is the one that I chose, and it's because it is talking about a boy who decides to get up and just leave his home, and he goes on this epic road trip and meets different people, and it's very interesting and intriguing, but he realizes that home is where the heart is, and that is like the whole point, I feel like, of Canyon Moon. And I feel like it's got a very upbeat 60s 70s vibe, and that is definitely what Canyon Moon has. It has a little bit of country in there, but it's mostly folksy rock from the 60s and 70s, and it just really works for this one. Alright, so the next song on this album is the one that I feel like is the most unique to the album, and definitely something that is completely different from what Harry's normally done, but it's definitely specific to the logo that he had from his very first tour, which was Treat People with Kindness, and that is the name of the song, Treat People with Kindness.
I got a good feeling.
Hey guys, it's editing me. Apparently I didn't want to talk about the Treat People with Kindness book, so I chose Heretics Anonymous, just so you guys are aware. And I just realized that now. But yeah, it's Heretics Anonymous, if you guys were wondering. So the very last song on the album is the self-title of it, and that is Fine Line.
We'll be a fine line. We'll be a fine line.
So the book that I chose for Fine Line had to be very emotionally driven because it is a very intimate song that really kind of lays everything out on the table. And so for that one, I chose Looking for Alaska by John Green. I feel like this one is very personable. It has a lot of emotions going in it. And I felt like the slow tempo of Fine Line really fit well with this one. I felt like a lot of the lyrics that are behind Fine Line really fit with this, and just I felt like if John Green could choose a song for a book, I feel like he would also maybe choose this one, maybe not the entire song of it, but I felt like it represented it in some way, and I really love that song, Fine Line, and I love this book, and both of them made me cry, so I felt like that was a good enough reason to have the two paired together. So those were all the 12 songs from Harry Styles' new album. I just had to show you guys this because it's so gorgeous. I actually have multiple copies of this and I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun doing it. I love being able to cross my interests into one video like I did today. It's just so exciting, and I am so passionate about both Harry Styles and books, so it was just a good combo to put together. And I will also be featuring Harry Styles in another video coming up here very soon. I'm starting a new series on my channel where I basically taste test celebrities or well-known figures' favorite books or book recommendations and see what my thoughts are on them. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that, be sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload a video. But other than that, if you guys want to also follow me on my social media, I will have it linked down below as always. But again, love you guys as always, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!